Great. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. This is Be Better Golf Live, a weekly golf show airing at 7:30 on Wednesday nights throughout the summer during basically the major championship season. My name is Brendon DeVore. I'm the host. This is Monte Scheinblum. Introduce yourself to everybody, Monte.
Hi, I'm Monte.
Monte's a golf coach to players on the PGA Tour, great amateurs and other places. And let's get off to the big topic of the weekend, which was the Masters. What do you think the biggest takeaway people had from that entire tournament?
Everybody's talking about Jordan Spieth's collapse, and I think that's pretty ridiculous. It happens. Everybody.
Well, it happens to me.
I'm
an amateur.
We could go all through history.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, we could go back. Greg Norman's collapse on Sunday against Nick Faldo. If you want to go for one hole, Jean-Claude Van de Velde's, collapse. He made a mental error and then hit a really bad shot, and nobody wants to talk about how great Will it was. And to me, that was the bigger story. Yeah.
Let's talk about Danny Willett a little bit more in a second, but let's talk specifically, because the shot that didn't really, the first shot in the water is like a lot of people hit it in the water. You can still win at that point.
Fairways on. And when you have that little tiny green, the human brain, it's not just amateur golfers, the human brain really wants to go down and get it to make sure you don't blade it off of that. It's like hitting it off a cart path almost. The
first shot in the water was an F up. This is not going to be one here. And you get a little
kind of overdid it. It wasn't his swing. He made a little bit of a mental error on the tee shot. He changed his plan. He said it. I made a mistake. I changed my plan.
All right. So the game plan change was, and he said, you know what, I'm going to fade it.
Right.
And hit a little block fade.
Wiped it in the water. If it would have happened on Friday afternoon at the Dogleg Classic in the middle of July, no one would have given 2 cents about it. And it happens every week to every player at some point.
Well, I think some of the reason people are talking about him maybe doing a swing change, Nick Faldo had a good point. He was saying that in the water, there's no coming back from that.
That's pretty bad.
That's immediate strokes.
You can go back.
So he was having those mistakes all over the front nine, but he was still playing amazing golf.
His strength. You could go back and look at the statistics. He's been good to excellent in his ball striking stats at times. Times when he was winning. To me, both of those guys, what they have over other people is their mental strength and their mental toughness. And I think that's the bigger story, is he kind of went on tilt a little bit on that hole, which is not like him.
You could see it a couple holes later when he was going to be in his follow through.
Right.
And he was getting a little tilted at that guy too. He was just like,
he was a little.
Well, what's the rule? Is this legal or not? And the guy was like, well, could be, could not be. He was just like, all right, I'll just hit it.
Right. Listen, you're leading up. The guy is.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly about Danny Willett. The thing I was really impressed about, it seems like at the Masters recently in the last 10 years, there seems to be, it seems vulnerable, Augusta, to guys like Charles Schwartz. You always talk about side bend and the way through. The way he keeps that side bend really nicely and very aggressive.
Well, I don't know all this. He doesn't turn much. And he just essentially just lifts. But he does a great job of lining the shaft up to his body and then just turns through it. And if you're driving the ball well and you're putting well, you just have to be competent with everything else.
The last kind of swing story of the week, of course, was amateur golfer, NCAA champ, need a swing change if he's going to do well in majors and other stuff, because he did hit the 2 snappers in I think the second round, and then he made double again when he had that
has a bad miss in their swing. It doesn't matter who you are. And a complete change would destroy it. This is the way he's learned how to play golf. Going to a standard, all he's got to do is, find out why that ball's hooking. His transition, to me, when he hit those hooks, is transition. I mean, I haven't really studied it carefully enough, but just first thing, ooh, wow, that looked rushed.
Was it a double cross? Was he trying? I didn't watch enough of, is he having a problem with the fade that snaps? Or
it's hard. It's hard to, because I honestly, I don't know what he was trying to play off of that tee.
Yeah.
But his clubs are very, very upright.
Straight line.
If he gets a little out of position, he can hook it.
Cool. So the tournament coming up this week, the greens are even smaller than it looks, and the fairways are even tighter and everything else.
A pretty good friend of mine has played really well there, Ted Purdy.
Okay. He's been gay, very short hitter, very straight hitter, awesome putter. Yeah. And Luke Donald, other guys like that playing well there.
If you don't drive the ball straight, just take the wheel on some of those.
Yeah, it doesn't
fairways.
look like a ton of fun. Make comments below if anybody's played there and it was actually fun for you, because I like Pete Dye courses. That one just seems recently.
I played in a tournament a few weeks ago, and I was talking about the mental toughness of Spieth, and that's and course here, and some playing lessons. And this was my first real golf tournament. I made 7 birdies and almost made it through one of the Farmers qualifier at Torrey Pines.
Yeah.
Rounds in a cut, and there's probably 10 or 15 touring pros. The Southern California Open, and I wasn't awful, but I spent 36 holes steering the.
Yep.
I looked like a professional 14 holes, and I looked like a 15 handicap on 4 holes each day.
The only way to get rid of that is just
play more.
A lot more.
Play
a
more.
lot more playing.
I mean,
a lot more playing or specific.
And I haven't played in a full field tournament like that in probably 7 or 8 years. And I wasn't nervous. I wasn't uncomfortable. I mean, it's like, I don't want to hit it there.
Yeah, right.
But I don't quite know what I want to do on this tee.
Right.
It was like I didn't know what I was doing, Whereas when you play every day, when you're playing tournaments every week, when it's Thursday and Friday, you walk up or each day, hit a good drive in the fairway. I hit a ball somewhere near the hole and had a chance to make birdie. And the other 4 holes, I was just pretty much a disaster. Had no idea what I was doing.
What's your next?
I've got qualifying for the U.S. My traveling clinics have said on the internet, you could put this guy on a PGA Tour driving range and he would fit right in. But once you put me on the golf course, it's, I don't make the same aggressive, confident swing that I make here on the range. And this is relevant because they're thinking about their golf swing, and that was pretty much the mistake that I made. I was thinking about my golf swing instead of.
It's so hard, a little bit into the mental game of golf now. It's so hard, sometimes, especially as an adult learner of the game, I feel this is the way. You go up to every single shot, and it's like a new swing thought every single time. You're always trying to rescue your game with, you think, the new swing thought. It's so difficult to shut off the inner monologue.
Right.
Especially, the people who are watching this, these are.
Because that was the difference between the 12 to 14 holes where I looked like I knew what I was doing.
That quiet.
I had one idea.
Yeah.
I said, look, I'm going to do this, and I hit, at worst, the competent shot, and at best, a great shot. The other 4 holes, I'd hit a shot, and I'd be like, and you can just see my facial expression. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what to do. Now I'm not committing. The best thing that you can do is, when you're on the range, you work on whatever you want. Yeah. When you go to the golf course, good, bad, or ugly, you take one thought to the course.
Swing thought.
One swing thought. Everybody says, just swing. The people that say, just swing, again, the other section is, just swing your swing. That's a load of crap, too.
Yeah, right.
You need to go in there, and you need to have one key that you're going to focus on.
Yep.
Even if it's something as simple as, I'm going to, be a little patient in the transition. So I'm going to go back, set, go. Even if it's something as simple as that, you have to have one thing you're focusing on, and it can't just be the target.
And I think that speaks to, because when people talk about, the golfer we always talk about, like Tiger Woods in 2000, and you talk about mental toughness, and people think like, oh, mental toughness because he made a birdie after he doubled, or you know, he did. Really, the mental toughness is like in the second by second fortitude to keep your mind focused on what it really takes to play good golf and not letting these other things come in.
Tiger has the mentality of a great he's having a little hard time now, not just with his injuries, but his mental game.
Yeah.
When Tiger was on the top of his game, he had the same mental focus and mentality of the great closers in baseball and the great corners in football. A great closer in baseball, he could have given up a home run to this guy the 4 previous times he faced him. It doesn't matter. He's coming up and in on that guy to try and get him out.
Yeah.
A corner could have just been beat for an 80-yard touchdown. He's in on that guy on the very next play, pressing him at the line.
Right.
Tiger's greatest skill, he was never regardless of what people think, he was never the longest hitter on the tour.
Yeah.
He was never the best ball striker. He was never the best putter. He was never the best short gamer. Tiger's greatest skill.
He was a pretty good putter at one point.
A clutch putter.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a great
His putts for par were probably better than anybody.
And it goes back to this point. He had the ability to individualize every single shot. He would step up to every single shot and hit it as well as he could. It didn't matter if he was 5 shots in the lead on Sunday or if he was about to miss one of his few cuts. He was in on every shot. I'm going to do the best I can here. And this is the mistake that most golfers don't do. They're trying not to hook it in that water, or they're trying not to slice it because they're a slicer.
Yeah, right.
Get up there, and again, this was the mistake I made 2 weeks ago. The shots that I hit well, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hit this shot as well as I can. I hit almost every one of those perfectly. When I started to go, when your mind wanders, you're done. Do the best you can, and then go on to the next one and do the best you can on that one.
One thing I heard Bubba Watson say, and I think it's interesting because I think he puts almost no thought into his mental game, no thought into his technical game either, really. But one thing I did hear him say is it was in some tournament, it was an important moment, and you hear him whisper to himself on the broadcast, all right, Bubba, hit one good shot in your life. Just hit one good shot.
Right.
So so basically the challenge is, can I hit one good shot? Just this shot.
Right.
That's all he's thinking about.
It should be that. I mean, the best players, the most consistent players, everybody can get hot, but the most consistent players, the guys that are good week in and week out, they hit, Spieth is the perfect example. He makes quad on 12 and then birdies 13. He went up on the tee. He got a little bit lucky. That ball could have clipped the tree, but he got up there and he tried to shave it down the corner and give him an opportunity to get back in the tournament. Hit each shot as well as you can.
Okay, guys, so make sure to put your questions in the comments now. I'm going to check it out and see if there's something. There will be, probably. Let's see. Let's go to this. And all right, Monte, let's hit some shots. So you can take the chairs away for me. And
oops. Lost my keys.
Okay, guys, so put your questions here. Monte, let's move this table back just a little bit.
Okay.
And let's see what kind of move you're putting on the ball and what I'm doing too. That's fine. That's your glove.
There are some shadows to continue.
Yeah, we're good. It's just the face shadow. Actually, because of the shadow, why don't we move this table right there? Like this way?
Yeah, sure.
All right, guys, just bear with us. We're gonna move our setup here over into the light. just past this
Okay.
pop-up.
Oh yeah, a little brighter here.
Yeah, right there. Perfect. Cool. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, just put them in the area below there. Okay, quick question here, Monte.
Yes.
And you can kind of demonstrate this as you're hitting. One of our Dirk Richardson wants to know. He wants you to talk a little bit about, does shallowing in the transition open the club face? This is a real.
It can if you don't do it right. You know, just like anything else in the golf swing, if you do it right, the answer, can this negative thing happen? No.
Yeah.
But if you don't quite do it correctly, you know, so if you're trying to, you know, everybody knows that move's bad, where the shaft gets too vertical, comes out over your right shoulder. People will call that over the top, but it's not always over the top.
Yeah.
Oh, to me, I distinguish between the over the top where the hands work like this, and that's not over the top, because you know the hands are working down.
Yeah.
But the shaft is getting too vertical.
Yeah, the shaft is over the line.
Right.
But it's not.
It's not really the classic over the top move that a slicer. You know.
Because some people talk about this move that some people want you to do, where it drops here,
right,
and you go around like that into
right.
impact.
Yeah. See, I mean, if the shallowing move is that, yeah, that opens the club face. Mm-hmm. You know. But if you're up here and you're sequencing properly, you know, you should be able to not have the club face open.
So you're saying if you can shallow it out without getting stuck or without getting it behind you,
right,
you should be all right.
Generally, yeah. I mean, this is a general comment, mm-hmm. but if you shallow it out by dropping your hands, the club face is going to open. If you shallow it out by getting the hands out in front of you, the club face isn't really going to open too much.
Oh, getting the hands out in front of you, it has a shallowing effect?
Oh yeah, if you do it
Show
right.
me that, yeah.
Okay, so look, everybody thinks that in order to get the shaft to lay down, to get horizontal, that they have to drop their hands. Look at how wide open that club face is.
Yeah.
This is going to turn into a flip.
Or shank.
Well, not more often the shank is
from that. Okay.
But if you're up here, now watch my hands work out. See how the hands worked out and the club didn't?
Yep.
You know, I'm not really pivoting when I'm trying to do this. But more often than not, if the hands work out and the club works down, that'll shallow it, and now you're not stuck, and then it can work out in front of you. So if your hands are working that way, generally speaking, the club won't open. The club only opens when it's that move.
Monte and I did a video you'll see on my channel called Deep and Out, and that kind of addresses that.
See, so like if you're working, watch, see how shallow that shaft is?
Mm-hmm.
And my hands are working out.
Somebody else wanted to know, and this is perfect because this is what we're going to do anyway, what are you working on? And take us through a couple shots.
It's really interesting. I just got a body track pressure mat. Thing's fantastic. It's a pressure mat, and it tells you, you know, where all the pressures on your feet are, all through address, transition, downswing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it tells you heel toe. Okay. Yeah. And I found out, you know, I have flat feet and I wear orthotics, or else I wouldn't be able to make it through 18 holes. And my sense of the ground and my sense of heel toe weighting is not as good as it is when I just have flat feet on the ground. Okay. So I was under the impression that I was pretty even weighted at address. And you know, generally speaking, they say you want to be 55-45 left, somewhere around there. Even 60-40 left, but 55-45 left. I was fine. But I was into my heels, probably, you know, 60-65-35, 60-40, 65-35. And what that was making it hard for me to do was, then I couldn't work into my right heel because I would have lost my balance because I was already there. and I was almost working out to my toe a little bit.
Right. You're starting on your heels. You know where more heel to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And the effect that had on my swing is I have short arms in relation to my height, and that makes it really, really. If I'm in my heels, and I go this way, see how my arms and hands can't get back, and then I start going like this and like that, and then I get steep.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm kind of doing an exaggeration feel right now, where what I feel like is all in my toes, but when I was on the body track, it's telling me it's only like 60-40 into my toes. And then I'm starting in my toes and then rocking. You know, I'm even standing up a little bit because I'm moving so much this way. But getting into your right heel is so important in the backswing.
And then once you get back into your heels,
where
do you want your weight to go at that point?
Well,
I mean, you're not thinking about it, but where should it go?
It's really, really funny you say that, because the weight goes like this. It goes heel, toe, ball of the foot, ball of the foot, heel. Yeah. So it goes like this, but it happens so fast that when you look at the pressure mat, it's a straight line pressure thing. So you can see the heel goes to the toe, goes to the toe, goes to the heel, but the overall pressure of your body is a straight line. So if you're actually trying to go that way, you get a curved pressure path, which is a path way too far to the right, early extension, everything that nobody wants. Yeah. So in a sense,
but you're just saying, just get it back in your heels and transition and go.
But the thing that I tell everybody I've put on this thing so far, and it was what I taught before, but now it's been confirmed. If you say go straight from heel to heel, people do what they're supposed to. If they try to go heel, toe, toe, heel, they early extend and they get out on their toes too much and never get to their left heel.
Let's see a couple shots while I read some more questions.
So I'm starting a little in my toes.
Yep.
Rocking to my heel. So there's a little of this look to it, and that's okay. It's it's an exaggeration drill I'm doing on the range to get me. And funny enough, this exaggerated drill where I'm in fact standing up a little bit feels better than the out of balance move that I had.
Yep.
See, and I know that's actually a good thing. I bladed a few balls doing that.
Somebody here has a George Genkas question. I'm gonna skip that question. I'm just actually I have never met him, but I'm just really sick of hearing about that guy. So I'm not gonna ask it. All right, fine. What's the biggest difference between your philosophy and GG swing tips? His big thing, in my opinion, is the left knee. You're here, the left knee goes out as you're turning, and it's something like that.
I mean,
it's similar to the drop the ball drill.
Nothing that he does is in complete. Nothing that he talks about is in complete conflict with something that I teach. He doesn't like as much lateral movement in the downswing with the lower body as I think would be right.
Right.
I think the move that he teaches is great as like an exaggerated feel, but overall, I just don't think people are going to get left enough. But arguing that there's something, I'm not trying to say that what he is doing is wrong. I'd say it's a slight difference of philosophy, and you can't argue with the results he gets. He produces great players.
Yeah. A lot of juniors, and every teacher I've met who has a lot of juniors. It's like kids are so good at learning. It's great that as a teacher, I think, to have a lot of juniors, because kids are just so good in general.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing, everything that I've seen of his, I can't look at any of it and go, oh God, that's terrible. Yeah. Which, I'm sorry to say, I could say about a lot of instructors.
I really like what he says about, in his one video, he says 70 or maybe 80, I don't know what it was. 70% of golfers jump out of their swing, stall the hips, and flip at it. So that's, I think, this thing that he's trying to get people out of.
Like I said, at worst, it's a great drill to get people to move their bodies correctly, and at best, it works.
George, if you're watching, or if one of George's students is watching, which I know you are, hit me up and we'll do an interview. All right, hit some more, Monte. Oh yeah, guys, this is with the front-facing camera. Actually, I don't know if can I flip it? There you go. Now Monte won't be as lefty. You were a lefty before, Monte. No, it's better. Okay.
You know, it's really funny. I mean, this isn't meant to be an excuse or anything. I haven't hit balls in the dark with the lamps behind
right.
me in a while. The perception of where the golf ball is a lot different. The ball looks smaller, and it being dark on this side, you know, the ball looks about that wide.
Yeah, because the bright spot of it is very small.
I mean, a good swing should produce a good shot no matter what. It's just the perception's a little bit funny.
And when you practice, I've noticed this about your practice. When you're practicing your things to do in your swing, you hit more wedge shots than I ever see anybody hit. As far as
this is the easy. I mean, when I'm working on something in my swing, I'll hit a few drivers, hit a few 3-woods, but I'm out here hitting 60 and 70 yard wedges and like 6 and 7 irons that I'm punching out there 120 yards.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a full swing. I want a slower swing at a slower speed so I can feel the movements that I'm trying to create.
Yeah. Good.
You know, this is why everybody should do it. So a little bit too much on my toes, rock back into the right heel. Yeah, there's another blade. But you know, this is the thing, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite here.
Yeah, right.
I don't care that I bladed that ball. I honestly don't. I'm making a little bit of a funky, exaggerated move.
Right.
And if I do it and I feel free, I don't care that I hit a bad shot. You know, if you want me to hit a good shot, I'll just step up here and just hit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people will abandon drills once they start looking stupid on the range.
The drill, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, hit a good one.
All right, take a break, Monte.
Let's see what you got.
I just got back from a week-long golf vacation at PGA West in La Quinta.
Yeah, I lived there for 10 years.
Yeah, so I should have told you to hook me up with some kind of free golf. It was expensive as hell. Anyway, so I went out there and I played golf against my brother. And a quick funny story. So I played golf against my brother, who's a good golfer. My brother does this move at the ball, but hits it straight, hits it real solid, hits it nowhere, like 240, and chips amazing. And anyway, all week I was hitting the driver really well and I was putting really well. I was doing everything in between that poorly. So we get back and my mom calls me and she says, Brendon, how did you play? Did you beat Dustin? And I'm like, why is my mom, who doesn't care about golf, asking me if I beat Dustin? I was like, no, he beat me 3 times. I beat him 1 time. She was like, oh, yeah, Jack, my nephew, told me that Dustin beat you. Why'd you let him beat you? You have a golf show, you're all into golf, and you let your brother beat you. It's hard to explain to a non-golfer. You can't just make your game show up, you know?
Right.
So all of a sudden, I felt pretty good about the way I played out there, and now all of a sudden, I was like, oh, now I feel, man, I wish I played better.
See, you can't judge golf by 1 round or even 1 week.
Yeah.
You judge golf by if you're trending up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think the biggest problem that amateur golfers have is they have too much emotional attachment to 1 shot.
Yeah.
They hit 1 bad shot and the round's over. Oh, I suck. You know, that's what we were talking about, mental toughness before.
Yeah.
You know, I bladed my wedge out there. I couldn't give two red cents about that because I'm working on something. I did what I was trying to do. I don't care, And once you start attaching too much emotional, baggage to one shot, you just start screwing your game up.
So everybody who's been watching my channel knows that I'm trying to get over this, hip spin move. So recently I've been working on the drop the ball drill that Monte and I were doing, where you kind of get this going just a little bit, which brings your hands down. But also working on getting my right hand faster. So I've been doing some drills where I'm throwing a ball underhand.
Yeah, I saw the Jeff Flag's coach.
Yeah, right. So which I like a lot too, because when I notice when I do this, my hand's real fast, and when I do a golf swing, my hand's kind of like lazy.
Look, like we said it when we did the 3D thing.
Yeah.
I am not going to argue that the hips don't go first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue that the hips don't control the rotation of the golf club. Okay? I agree with all of that. Where I think the mistake is made is where firing the hips is everything.
Yeah.
And this all stays back here. It's being so overtaught, And the analogy I keep coming back to is driving a stick shift car.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to push the clutch in first, just like the hips have to move first.
Yeah.
But if you're slow in shifting the gear shift with your hand, you're going to grind the gears when you let off the clutch.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And smashing the clutch harder with your foot is not going to make the car go faster.
And holding the clutch in longer just makes you shift slower.
Yeah, right.
You want
just enough.
You want the sequence to work properly. And for the sequence to work properly, sometimes you have to get this moving a little bit better.
Here it goes.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good sequencing.
The other thing that I was doing in the desert that my brother was like gonna vomit all over the golf course every time I did it, was taking monster divots, and I think that's related to my sequence. I was taking very big divots. That wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
That's the head.
The head going left.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here, look. Let me borrow your 600 for a second. Now, this swing isn't going to look particularly poor from that camera angle.
Yeah.
But watch what I do to it.
Yeah, the swing was on plane. It looked pretty. Sequence was all right.
I can almost bury my whole foot into that divot I took.
Yeah.
All I did was move my head forward, and it just, that's a monster divot.
Got to keep the head back. Andrew, I had played at the Stadium course and at the Norman course, and some other courses out there. There's vlogs coming soon.
Sorry, I have to hit one.
Go ahead.
After that mess.
No, please.
After that mess, I have to make a real golf swing, or at least if I'm capable.
Oh, that's awesome, Monte. Very good shot.
That's even with your club. And it was online and everything.
Yeah.
Just got lucky.
You always hit a good with that club.
Yeah. Probably should have got the balls before we started.
That's all right. Okay, guys, so we'll be doing this for about 10 more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes. Any other questions, let me know. Oh, no, right now we're at Oak Creek in Irvine, California. That's where we are. Monte teaches lessons here, and he also does clinics all over the world.
Yeah, if you're taking monster divots, there's a 95% chance that your head's moving forward. See, here's what, this is just being my first guess, is without your right hip firing so far forward, you're probably back here thinking there's no way I'm going to get to the ball, and then went like that.
Yeah. I also feel like when my sequence is better, I have a slightly more of a sink down move, which gets me a little lower to the ground.
Yes.
And then if I go left too.
Yeah. See,
in trying not to hump the goat, I'm kind of feeling that a little bit.
Now, see, go ahead, do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, relax. Okay, now go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
So you got to do that one more time. Take it back. Now go. See, you're used to going.
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, fire the hips, get the head forward, get the club out in front of you. That's why you'll occasionally hit a little shank.
Yeah.
You want when you're doing that sit down move.
You want the shaft to lay down too?
See, look at the good position I have.
You're getting the arms out in front. What am I looking at?
Yeah, the arms are out in front while the club head stays back.
Oh, I see.
So it's good. Do it one more time. I'll use my hand this time.
So it like this and like that.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna keep my head back here and be a little quicker with my right hand than normal. That's all right.
Not bad. Yeah, being quick with your right hand. It kind of sounds like no-turn Castro, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, see, there's nothing particularly wrong with that swing. It's just you're standing the shaft up too much.
On the way down?
Yeah. You're trying to, you're trying, if you were hitting a cut, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
But you're trying to hit a draw with a shaft that's standing up.
Okay.
It's a bad match.
And that's, so to not, I have to work more out to not stand it up.
Okay.
Right.
You have to see, when you work out that way.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like.
There you go.
What was the slow one?
See? See, that's much better.
Yeah.
That's much better. Now you know why all I hit is wedges and punch 6 and 7
really
irons.
feel it,
because, you're in there and you're trying to do it, you're feeling the motions, better.
Okay.
See, that's awesome right there. Yeah. Notice the nice penetrating ball flight. Mm-hmm. Notice the nice shallow divot.
Hit some more, Monte, because people aren't super interested in seeing me hit, I don't think.
Why not?
Maybe.
You're the star of the show, man.
All right, quick topical question. Are there any spots left in Chicago?
I believe there's one or two. There is at least one left.
All right, Nick, there is at least one spot left in Chicago. I don't know what this means. Are you in Golf Match? Do you know what that is?
Golf Match?
I think Golf Match is this annoying app that spams Instagram with hot babes.
Yeah,
Sean, tell us what that is, unless you're a spammer.
I keep getting, things from that like, oh, this woman is a local golfer.
Yeah, some babe that Shirley's never touched a club.
Right,
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
it's one of those
they
things.
sponsor hot girls on Instagram that play golf, like Nikki B and other people like that.
Yeah, you know what? I think I filled out something once for something else. I wanted to get on this mailing list for information on something golf related, and I ended up in that thing. Yeah, the funny one is I get like emails from some 70-year-old woman that says, oh yeah, I play golf and I'm in Orange County.
Yeah. Well, book a lesson, lady.
Exactly.
Well, guys, we're about out of balls and about out of time here at the range. Thanks a lot for watching. Our live viewers didn't get too high, but did pretty well because the live viewing on YouTube is not that great. We might switch over to Periscope, but I think I'd rather do it on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Any final words, Monte?
No, this is fun.
Yeah, this was fun. All right, guys, so we'll see you next Wednesday at 7:30, and be sure to subscribe to Monte's channel at youtube.com/hititlong. Monte, you also have something to promote today.
Oh, yeah. The new video, Drive for Dough.
Yeah.
It was really funny. My video guy just came up with that to get it moving. I'm like, that's pretty funny. Yeah. It's on my website at montescheinblum.com, and it's almost 4 hours worth of content on, it's mostly how to swing the club better, but people want to know how to hit the ball farther. And coincidentally, if you swing better and you swing more efficiently, you'll learn to hit the ball farther.
You said an interesting thing at the beginning of the intro to that, was that you don't really see the kind of huge potential for gains in speed training, golf fitness, things like that. That the untapped potential is getting people's swings better,
making your swing better. I mean, if there's let's say for any given person, there's 30 yards to be gained max. 20 yards, 25 yards of that 30 is going to come from making your swing better.
Yeah.
You can gain a few yards from, obviously if you're really poorly fit for your driver,
yeah,
you can get a lot of yards out of that. If you're completely just so weak you can barely get up out of a chair, getting in shape is going to help you a lot. But for a regular run-of-the-mill, fairly fit person that has a decently fit golf club, most of your gain is going to come from improving your golf swing.
Guys, if for next week's episode, put any questions in the description, in the comments below this video. Subscribe to this channel and have any of your golf friends, or click on your wife's account, make her subscribe, whatever it takes. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye. Great work, guys. Really love this stuff. Thank you, everybody. All right, Sean.